Some assets are inherited, while others are worked for. And then there is one asset we're all on a level playing field for. Chichela Smotley's welcome Kenny Kadar and his second speech from CC Manual. How do you feel that out?
Raise your hand if you've heard or said any of the following phrases. Time is of the essence. There's never enough time in the day. What a waste of my time. A lot of you, right? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests, time is our most valuable asset. We are defined by our time, how we spend it, in our work, in our hobbies, and where we choose to live, who we spend our time with. And it is the one area where we are all on a level playing field. Whether you're rich or poor, short or tall, fat or skinny, we all have 24 hours in the day, 365 days in the year. Well, I guess 366 in a leap year, but that's just getting technical about it, right? Now, giving some of your time is showing that person respect. And in that vein, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to listen to my speech tonight. You know, I know there's a lot of other entertainment opportunities, and the Lakers are playing tonight, so I do appreciate your feedback tonight. I'd like to thank, special thanks to Jerry for, I see him scribbling notes for my evaluation for later this evening, and for all of you for your suggestions and comments for improvement. I promise to take the time to look at them in hopes that speech number 3 will be better than speech number 2. Now, how you spend your time shapes the person you become. And tonight I'd like to tell you about a time that helped shape the person that I became. And it all started a couple years back when I was in college at the University of Washington in Seattle, and I was in business school. And I kind of stumbled across an opportunity that really helped change my career path. I was in class talking to some friends, and they told me how they had joined a business case competition. And they needed one extra member to be on the team. And they asked me if I'd like to join. Now, I knew nothing about a business case competition. In fact, I'd never even heard of a business case competition. But I said, hey, why not? You know, I'm in college, I'll give it the old college try. And I signed up. And then I learned what a business case competition was. It's 20 teams of 4 business students who are given 48 hours to come up with a strategic recommendation to a problem from a Fortune 500 type company. So think Harvard Business Review type cases. Now, at the end of your 48 hours, you present that presentation in front of a panel of judges, including your professors and real-world businessmen, as well as your peers. And there's 2 rounds. In the first round, all 20 teams compete, but only 4 move on to the final round, where you present in front of a group of 200 plus of your classmates, peers, and professors. So I clearly had no idea what I was getting myself. But I still went into it with my eyes open, and I decided, let's give it our best shot. So we got the case, and we worked really hard. And let me tell you, it was a struggle. We discussed, we argued, we analyzed. We probably drank more caffeine than we should have, to be honest. But at the end of the day, after all the arguing, after all the fighting, we came up with a recommendation that we thought was good. We went into the presentation and put our best foot forward. And we were fortunate that we made the finals in that first competition. And while we didn't win, and I'm still bitter to this day about it, we did have a good showing. And we were invited to another competition, an international competition, at the University of McGill in Montreal. And after another strong showing in that, another competition at the University of Texas in Austin. In all, I was able to compete in 4 different case competitions, and I'm proud to say that I made the finals in 3 of them.
Oh. Hey. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. But I learned a lot in that time, and it really did help shape my career path, as I mentioned, and I'm going to explain some of the ways. First, it helped me push my abilities. I never knew what I was capable of, especially in a 48-hour period. But through this competition, I was able to not only analyze a problem, but come up with a solution and present it to people in a cohesive manner. And that taught me a lot about myself. And it helped me utilize time more efficiently. I've never slept less in my life than in that 48-hour period when I was in the case competition. But I learned how to cope with that and how to still perform with minimal sleep. Furthermore, I've always been a competitive person. I've always played sports younger, but I realized that my crossover wasn't quick enough to make it to the NBA, and I didn't have that major league caliber swing. So I was going to have to let my competitive spirit out in other ways. Well, a case competition and business as a whole is the perfect way for me. I'm able to work with a group of people, all discussing similar ideas towards a common goal and working to make it that way. I was also able to develop relationships that lasted a lifetime, and as a whole, my time spent with the case competition circuit helped shape my career path to becoming a strategic planner and entrepreneur. But it also enlightened me to the importance of time. Being under strict time constraints will do that to somebody. So I started doing some research on time, and I came across the story of the one Donald Trump. Many of you may have heard of him. And I was reading about him, and it said that when he first moved to New York, he saw that all of his competitors, all of his peers, were spending a lot of their time late night drinking and sleeping all day. And he said, look at this, my competition's out drunk, I'm gonna work hard, and I'm not gonna sleep as much as them, and they're not gonna be able to keep up. So he made it a pact that he would only sleep 4 hours a day, from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., and he would never go out. Now say what you will about the Donald, he may have a ridiculous comb over. He may say, you're fired in a really funny way. But he has attained a level of success in business and in pop culture that few people can attain. And it's because he valued his time, and it's because he made the most of it. But at the end of the day, what's most important is to be happy. Nothing feels worse than wasted time. Nobody sits back at the end of the day and says, man, I really wish I did more things that make me miserable. I think Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of the great orators of the 1800s, said it best when he said, to fill an hour, now that is happiness. So I ask you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests, how do you fill your hour? Mr. Toastmaster.